This is Rabbi Son hot takes on news, and you know the drill. So, okay, as some of you may have noticed, there's no video here. That's because we're doing a few audio-only ones. So if you like this audio recording, this audio-only situation, reach out to us. We want to know what you think. As always, I'm Rabbi Patrick here with son, Javon. Say hi, Javon.
Hi.
I was hoping you'd say hi, Javon.
Oh, no.
No. Okay. All right. So today we are talking about dating. So we have this friend. We're not going to say who. And our friend seems to be having some dating problems. And also, for some reason, I've become the Pied Piper of late 20s, early 30s people who are struggling in the dating scene. And by dating scene, I mean these terrible apps that should probably be banned for life. And so I'm concerned, I'm concerned about the future. And also, Javon is the future. So, yeah, Javon, just, give us a Gen Z, just general take on what the world is looking like vis-a-vis love and relationships and all that good stuff.
Well, I would first like to say I am not the friend. It's not.
No,
not,
yeah,
not,
actually, yeah. Yeah,
because
that's right. That's right.
Like, and 20s and like early 30s. No, I am not the friend.
Can you also verify for the people listening that I am not the friend as well?
Neither is he the friend as well.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, well, yeah.
Yeah,
I was like,
right.
Oh, who you describing?
Right.
No, I don't know. I hear that Gen Z is having a problem with like dating, going out, talking to people, making friends, like stuff like that in general.
Okay. So
and I think it's more like, I want to say maybe the later end, like the younger end.
The younger end of Gen Z is having these problems the most, not the older.
I mean, I think people maintaining relationships in general, like, is a problem.
Okay.
I mean, because some people I know are in relationships, but some have kids. Not that I'm judging. I'm just like, different spaces people are in, apparently.
Sure. So when you say you have friends who have kids, are they single people who have kids?
It's like, I mean, they're not together, but they're co-parenting.
Okay, sure. Got it.
I mean, I probably don't know one person that's like actually in a relationship, like, together
with the person they've had a child with. Okay, got it. Okay, so let's start then, I guess, with just the friendship component, right? So it's not just dating, but it's just the ability to make friends. Mm-hmm. So do you think this is a uniquely Gen Z problem, or what do you think?
No, I don't think it's a uniquely Gen Z problem. I do think there's, some millennials who don't know how to make friends. There are a lot of people who don't know how to make friends. It's, some people just don't like talking to people. They don't like going around doing new things, trying to immerse themselves or take themselves out of, a bubble, or like aren't awkward and like, make things awkward.
Sure.
It's just awkward to be around.
It's interesting because, I've been making these videos over at our other TikTok and Instagram, Punk Torah Inc. And I've been making fun of Reddit and saying like Reddit is a terrible place to be and blah, blah, blah. And people have been trolling me about like, don't you dare speak ill of Reddit, which is just this great place that has done so many wonderful things for them in their lives. And so I started actually going on Reddit because I was sort of wondering, well, what am I missing here? And the number of subreddits that are like, I haven't looked at like what women's stuff is, but like for men, where it's like, I'm 30 years old and plan to not get married or have children, and I have no friends, and I live in like my mom's basement, or I've just given up on life entirely. And, I'm on 300 dating apps and no one will swipe on me. And I'm just like, this is just horrible. Like, this is a horrible state to be in. Like, again, only speaking as a guy, because that's the only frame of reference I have. But like the number of these men that are just like, I'm under 35, there's no one in my life that cares about me. I'm lonely. I'm all, my job sucks, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, this is not healthy, because if you're 30, by the time because here's the thing, by the time you hit 35, I would say, not everybody, you kind of are pretty set in who you are. Like there are radical transformations that happen, but by about 35, you're kind of doing what you're doing.
Mhm.
And not that people can't live their lives how they want to, but if the life you live gives you like quiet despair, that sucks. And having a lot of that in a country that, yeah, just no, I reject that as being acceptable.
I don't know. Maybe people are ugly, and it's like no, not no,
Wow.
no. Like we're thinking, like we're gonna be real for a minute, and I have
Okay.
to be real. If you're on 17,000 apps, and then you're not, people are not swiping right. Like
Right.
either you're just like ugly, which is subjective, as beauty is.
I'm not the
or you're
hottest
just
dude in
like,
the world.
you're just uninteresting, and it's like no one is gonna be interested in someone that's like boring and that has nothing going on with them, but they're like 30 and they're in a mom's basement. Maybe that's the first problem.
Right.
Get out the basement and get out. Go do something. Walk in the park. Do a marathon or something. Take pottery classes. Learn an instrument. All ways to meet people and like not just be in this like depressive state.
Yeah.
While you're 30 in your mom's basement, which is crazy because you're 30.
Right.
But like, yeah.
Yeah. The thing about it is, I think depression has like a momentum to it where the longer you are having this quiet life of despair, the harder it gets to kind of have that moment where you just are like, no, I'm going to learn that instrument. I'm going to start that business or nonprofit or whatever. Like you just lose the inertia to do anything other than basically sit at home and play video games. But, I don't know. I guess this is more of the dating part of it and not just the friendship part, but the number of times that people on Reddit posted like, so for our area, people posting like, how do you make friends? Like just like not even like, like what's there fun to do in this city, or like I'm interested in this particular kind of hobby or group of people, or what, just straight up like, how do you make friends? I mean, that's a challenge when people are in that place, I would think.
I mean, to give advice, how to make friends. Some people don't have a problem with making friends. Like, me personally, like I never had to like walk up to somebody and be like, hi, my name is blah, 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 blah.
You never had to do that?
No.
Okay, got it.
It's more of like, people flock to me, not like, not like the coolest, cat on the block, but it's like, I never had to do that. And it's like, even when you do, it's like, you just start off with a compliment. You're like, oh, you have nice shoes, or, oh, your hair is so pretty. How do you do that? Or where'd you get this and that from? And then like you kickstart a conversation.
Right. Kickstart a conversation. And we should just say further proof that indeed I am not the person who has the dating problem. Here is wife/mother. We're not on camera. Don't worry. No one will hear you. Just so further proof. I guess it's not much proof because all they hear is someone walking in the background. So there's no video. But anyway, okay. So you had an advantage of being someone that, as you so humbly put, naturally radiates a kind of friend-worthy energy. And I was more on the side of like, I kind of had to try. Like I kind of had to work my way up to having friends. And I agree with you 100% that there are just basic social skills. Like, hey, nice, blah, blah, blah. Or where did you get that such and such? Or, just go places where people share your values. And this is where I'm going to give, because we're at the 10-minute mark, I'm going to give a plug for religion because it's my job to do so. I know there are a lot of people, and I was one of these people who started going to synagogue, and I felt like a fish out of water, right? Like I didn't see people who looked like me. I didn't see people my age because I was in like my early to mid 20s and, all this other stuff. But like, I know that it's not perfect. I know that the world hasn't changed completely. I know that most formal Jewish spaces are still going to be people who have children. And so they're going to be of a certain age, or, it's their grandkids, or they grew up there or whatever. But honestly, like, try to find Jewish places where you maybe aren't necessarily going to meet someone to date, but you'll have something to do, because synagogues need people. And I think there is a kind of synagogue etiquette that you have to be careful about. Like, you kind of need to go in and just understand what you're getting yourself into. If it's a Reform synagogue, they're not going to act Orthodox, right? If it's an Orthodox synagogue, understand that that comes with a particular cultural, spiritual mindset, and you just have to deal with it, but assimilate to it. Find your niche. Maybe you're a person who doesn't have kids, whatever. Doesn't mean you can't be a Hebrew tutor. Doesn't mean you can't, volunteer for other things. And if there's, an affinity group that you belong to and no one's organizing that, then organize that. If you're an older adult, in our congregation, there's an older adult right now who's like, hey, Rabbi, you're a nice guy, but some of us older folks kind of want to hang out and do our own thing. So we're organizing that. Or, maybe you're a younger person and there's only one other young person in the congregation. Great. Go make friends with them off of the shared fact that, like, you're the youngest people in the room, and just say, hey, Rabbi, like, we want to try to get more young people to come. Here's the resources we need to do that. And what I know about healthy congregations is if you say, I would like to help, they will have no problem abusing that privilege. They will have no problem, trying to get you involved. Some of the smaller ones aren't good at it because they just don't, they do everything based on tradition, meaning like not religious tradition, but like, of course, Karen is in charge of the food. Karen's been in charge of the food for 10 years. Of course, Miss Lowenstein is like the person who always does the decorating for the holidays. She's been doing it since, her mother and grandmother or whatever. They just run on inertia. So you do kind of have to disrupt it a little bit. And sometimes that's part of life. But just those communities exist. Go to them. And if you don't find someone who's in your exact demographic, who cares? Like, if you're a younger person, make friends with someone who's middle-aged or older. Maybe they can help you with your career. Maybe they, understand the real estate market. Maybe they made a bunch of money investing and they'd love to teach someone. Maybe they work at the college and have access to those resources. Or maybe it's the other way around. Maybe you're an older person and you have some wisdom to pass on. Now, don't go lurking around young people and freaking them out. That'll look gross and weird and be incredibly misinterpreted. But it's okay for us to have those relationships, friendships, I should say, with people that don't fit our demographic perfectly. And that's what those communities want. They want people to make friends, build relationships. And I've been going for 3.5 minutes. I think you get the point. So anyway, thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Yeah, but take the plug
bring it
out
back.
of, the religious realm. Like, if you just go to free events, different types of stuff, going around where you live, and then just, step out of your box and just be like, hi, blah, 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 blah. My name is, your name is, oh, what do you do? And it is like that cringy start.
Yeah.
But it's but once you get the flow, you get you start building rapport, and then it's boom, comfortable, flowing,
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. They say that one of the best ways to learn something is to teach something, to offer to teach it, because then you're going to be real motivated to get it right, to really know what you're doing. So I think the same is true with friendship, that one of the best ways to build friendships is to organize people. So, you have a particular life experience and you notice that there might be other people who've had that life experience, whether it's positive or negative. Just tell people, hey, we have this shared thing in common. Let's do something with that.
Yeah, but don't trauma bond.
Yeah, don't trauma. Yeah, you have to be careful with that one.
This very thin line, people got to walk with certain different types of bonding over certain experiences.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, but I mean, there's now these Black men's groups that are getting together where it's not like the fraternities and all of that. It's just hey, Black men over a certain age, and they're getting together and just hanging out. right? And, or there's like, women's groups in neighborhoods. You can go on Facebook and you can find a group for anything. And if it's not an active group, then just say like, hey, I've noticed we're always talking on here, but we're not doing anything. Like, let's get together for a meal. Let's go hang out in the park. Like, and so what if one person shows up? That's the one motivated person. Like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but still, you got to worry about stuff like that. Like, you gotta make sure that things are clear once you like, especially when you're inviting people to things. Like, if you're inviting someone to a meal, like as the person who's doing the invite, I think you need to like make it known before, like pre-meal, like what type of meal is going to be, or what's the paying expectations, because that's how friendships fall.
Sure.
And the whole thing.
I was thinking more like potluck or something, but like
no, but I'm just saying, like even with potluck, like potlucks are
emphasis on luck.
Yeah, you don't know what who can cook or not, and then like if you're like, oh my gosh, who made this casserole?
Yeah,
and then it's like then it's like
yeah.
So like make sure you lay things out, be clear,
right?
And this is with friendships or relationships. Be clear about what it is from the beginning.
Right.
So there's like,
boundaries.
Exactly. So there's no missing, interpreting anything. There's no,
I'm with you.
Confused.
I think that happens in my life where, I have people who I'm their friend who happens to be a rabbi. And then he's our rabbi. I'd like to be friends with him. And those are kind of two different kinds of relationships that I have with people. And they sort of, they look different. The things we do are different. And it's not that I don't value one over the other, but I just know that there's a certain expectation of like, I can be myself, but it's a different version of myself, right? Like if I'm going out to dinner with one group of people, it's masking, right? We all put on a different mask for a different environment. But you're right. Like, especially like if you're going to go out to a big meal with a lot of people and then someone inevitably says, let's just split the check. Like, 10 ways.
And then someone's like, oh, but you ordered the lamb chops and I got, the salad.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's like, you gotta watch, you have to watch people. This is about a watching game. You have to watch. And then you have to be like, okay, do I agree with this? Do I like this?
Right.
Do we have this in common? Right. Oh, you act like this. I can't gel with that. Right. So, like, I'm going to put something up here when I can be close, but when I can be far.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And don't order the fajitas. You were the one that told me that.
Oh, yeah. Because, yeah.
Why is that?
Yeah. It was this TikTok video of this girl on her birthday saying, don't order fajitas on her birthday because, they come out, they have like this whole show, like they're all steaming, they're all hot, they have their own little special presentation.
Yeah.
Like their own little, like, oh, if it's too hot, like, then all the person, like all the attention drawn to the person with the fajitas instead of the person whose birthday is it. So, yeah.
God, now I want fajitas. I shouldn't have said that. But yeah, you're right. Because also with fajitas, it takes up like 3 plates.
Exactly.
And and then it's obnoxious, especially if you're at a crowded table with like 10 or 12 people.
Exactly. Who are also hungry. And fajitas usually come out first.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So don't order the so in the pursuit of friendship, do not order the fajitas. Yeah.
Yeah. And, off of friendship, talking about relationships.
Yeah.
And, I feel like if you're going to be in a relationship or thinking about being in a relationship, you need to think of who you are first.
Okay.
Because it starts, with you first. You have to love you first.
Sure.
Before you can, like, step outside of that.
Right.
And be in a relationship with someone else.
As RuPaul famously said, if you, oh shoot, now I'm going to get the line wrong.
Yeah.
If you can't love yourself, how in the blank are you going to love somebody else? Can I get an amen?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So it starts, from, you. And then when you go into relationships, like, I feel like the important questions should be asked early on.
So what are the important questions as far as you're concerned?
I mean, the important question of, do you want to have kids? And do you want to get married? Those are the 2 very, very important questions.
Yes.
More importantly, the kids portion.
Right.
And because people be trapped in the relationship going on Reddit, in these little subgroups, oh, I hate my kids. I hate.
Really? That's a thing?
I mean, I'm just saying. But no, there are some groups that be like, I never wanted to be a parent.
Oh, God,
and like,
that's terrible. Yeah.
Yeah, because these people never want to have kids, but they were in a relationship with people that they like, and like the idea of being with that person,
right.
But not like the reality of
what
if I continue to be with this person, then we're going to do this, then my life's going to do this.
Right.
And then now I, have, I feel negatively towards boom and boom,
right,
boom.
Right.
So I feel like, important conversation I had. Even if you like that person, don't pursue that person.
Right.
You clearly are on two different paths.
Yep.
There's plenty of fish in the sea.
Yep.
Just swim with another, fish.
Yep. I agree 100%. And, there's this idea in the Orthodox community, and it's something that I want to see happen more outside of it too, which is the idea of a matchmaker, a shadchan. And what the matchmaker does, this isn't like a dating app where AI connects people together. It's a person who very deliberately is looking at, family values, career goals, where they want to live, personality, all of these other things. And then on a very human level, trying to help with setting up a date and like whatever. And that can feel, I think, sort of gross and weird on some level, but I think it's actually a beautiful system because what you're doing is, a lot of people meet people through friends and family, right? So it already exists. Like someone throws a party and someone who's a mutual friend shows up. Well, then you met them through your friend. Your friend is the matchmaker at that point. So it's not that weird. It's just a more formalized method. And especially with the values stuff. Because I don't mean values religiously necessarily, but I mean
like principally.
Yeah, just principally. Like, how do you treat your family? The kid question. Like that's an obvious one. What is the role of money in your life? Is money meant to be spent, shared, donated, hoarded, whatever? What role do your friends play in your life? Like, are you a ride or die, or are you someone who, is willing to push someone off the bike as soon as things get weird? Like those things just really matter. And then you can worry about if you're attracted to the person. I think attraction is actually a much easier thing I think we start with attraction first. And then it's like, do I find them attractive? Do I like them? Do I love them? And what we should really do, and then do we have shared values? We should invert it. It should be, do we have shared values? And then it's, do I find them attractive? Do I like them? Can I love them? Like it should be like that way. Because then you don't, like, limitation is a good thing. Because then all of those people you would have chased after because you thought they were attractive and you liked them, like they're non-issues at that point. Like you can only focus on who are the people who are my long-term. Where do I actually stand a chance 20 years from now to still be having a good life?
Yeah,
and do I find them attractive?
Yeah, but people don't think about that. They're like, oh my gosh, this person, oh, they look so great.
Yeah.
And like, oh, like, I could imagine being with them, but then it's like, especially like when you get into relationships, like, and this is why I say, you need self-love first.
Yes.
Because like, some people be like, oh, like, they do this for me, but, they see and treat them, someone else bad. And they're like, well, they don't do that to me. So like, I'm looking at myself in this position that like, oh yeah, I'm the only one that gets a special treatment. When like, no, like if you had the self-love and the self-respect for yourself, then you'd be like, oh no, what he's doing to these people is wrong.
Right.
And like, I'm just not, that's not something I, want to be entangled with, regardless of them being attractive. And then you like, step aside because like, you're not special. You're not like, you're not changing someone.
Right.
You're not going to change.
Nope, you cannot. It's impossible.
Like, so you need to forget about them being attractive. There's plenty of other attractive people.
Right,
This
exactly.
is, a world full of what, billions of people.
Right.
Like you'll find someone. Like,
you will.
Yeah, start off there first. You got to start with you first.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate thing. So to all these men in, the Reddit subreddits talking about how they're in their mother's basement, get about the basement, go outside, smell the fresh air, touch grass, do archery, get on a bike, find something,
play guitar,
like learn a new hobby, like just go do something. If you want to take a ballet, go spin a circle.
Yeah.
It's never too old to start a new hobby.
Right.
Because starting a new hobby, you meet new people. And then, develop social skills. Exactly.
Yeah, social hobby. Playing solitaire is not the hobby you need to start.
Exactly.
Yeah, do something that forces you to be around other people.
Exactly. Even gaming. Like,
that's true.
If you want to go to a gaming convention, and then you want to play against other people, and you want to make it a thing, then it's you can do things other than sit on Reddit, because when you sit on Reddit and you sit on social media, it's like this echo chamber because the algorithm is keeping you in this bubble.
It's keeping you depressed.
Exactly.
Because that's what, that's even another one I just thought of is like, so if you're on, we're saying Reddit because we're just kind of being snarky, but like, if you're on something for like your local community that you live in, and you're a person who works from home, which is like 25 to 50% of people now, like, can you go work at a coffee shop or a co-working space or something like that? Post online and say, hey, my name's Kevin, and like, I'm blah, blah, blah years old, and I know that I'm bored sitting at home all day. If you have a laptop and you work from whatever home, we're going to meet at such and such a coffee shop, and you're welcome to bring your laptop and work. Like, you don't even have to engage. Just like come and hang out, whatever. And then if people come and they have like a similar industry that they're in, well, maybe then you've made someone who can be a connection for a job, or maybe they have cool tattoos and so do you. I mean, whatever. Like, but like, we got to try harder.
Yeah.
IRL. Bring back IRL.
Yeah. Spark up a little conversation and may the wind blow.
Nice manga. I said that word. I said MAGA instead of manga. Nice manga sticker you have on your laptop.
Exactly. You watch whatever that ninja one is. Naruto. Yeah.
Nice Naruto sticker.
Exactly. We're friends. Like, what's your favorite character? And then boom, boom, boom. Yeah. And then, do you watch this? What else do you like? What's your favorite movies? What kind of games do you play? Do you go to any conventions and stuff like that? And then so on and so forth.
The Talmud says, make for yourself a friend and a teacher. So have a friend and learn something.
Exactly.
Yeah, let's leave it at that. Thank you to our sponsors at Darshan Yeshiva for making this content possible. Darshan Yeshiva provides beginner-level online Jewish learning, including the very popular Conversion to Judaism program, with sponsoring rabbis and students all over the world. Start your Jewish journey any place, anywhere, and anytime with our conservative, reform, reconstructionist, Jewish renewal, humanistic, and post-denominational rabbi mentors. Become the Jew you always wanted to be with Darshan Yeshiva.